pretty quickly what are the and I'm again the do nots and the cannot, that might change over time. Someone might just grow out of that. Or it might be different. But yeah, you shouldn't lead with that, but it's still an important formula. If somebody's like, oh my God, I hate fireworks because of, they bother my eardrums, or I think they're stupid. Like, I think they're stupid. I agree. They look exactly the same as they did 20 years ago, 50 years ago. They're all the same. You drag your lawn chair out in a buggy field on the 4th of July. It's not that fun.
I don't want fireworks on my engagement. I'm just going to let you know.
I wouldn't want fireworks on engagement. They're mean to dogs. Anyway, I don't know how I've got outside. I think, though, that carefully you find out where these landmines are in a relationship. You don't bring them up on the first date. You don't focus on the negative. But I think you got to know, because it would be amazing to be traveling with somebody somewhere and they, can't stand the smell of fondue. I don't know. Yeah. Or something like, I think it's part of a conversation. What do you like? What do you don't like? As you get deeper in a relationship. So again, don't lead with it. Don't lead with this bag of things. But once you're in a relationship, I think what makes a good relationship is learning to avoid situations that are going to cause conflict or strife or anxiety. And I think a lot of good couples know how to stay out of the ditch, if you know what I mean. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, why would you want to put yourself into the ditch?
A lot of times you don't know till you're lying in the ditch, though. You're like, I don't know what happened there, but she's really mad.
Yeah, I want to stay out of the ditch.
And a lot of things are triggers of prior relationships that don't work.
Yeah.
That didn't work.
Well, and a lot of people bring their old baggage into other relationships. And
they do.
You got to leave it at the front door.
Is jealousy a factor in relationships? When two people are comfortable and happy with each other, that shouldn't come up.
Jealousy should not be an issue.
It shouldn't be an issue.
You trust the person 100%.
And you trust how they feel about you.
Yes.
Right.
Jealousy should never be an issue.
It should never be an issue. And I think happy couples don't have that.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's what all of my couples have said. They trust the other person. It's not even trust, but it's their best friend. They could tell anything to. They could tell them if somebody was, like if they were flirting with another or if this guy was flirting with them at like a dinner party or whatever, they would tell the couple that, like the spouse. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's right. Like you share that with your best friend and then you laugh about it, or you're like, hey, my wife is hot. Damn, good. I'm glad she was getting some flirting action over there. I'm going to now flirt with her more at home.
Right.
Or you don't get jealous at the other guy, or you don't get jealous at the situation.
Right. Or you look at all the other people around. You
appreciate it, right?
Yeah. Or you look around and be like, that, and you find the worst person in the room and be like, that's the pool. That's plan B. And I think you can laugh about it. I think happy couples can laugh about this stuff. And they're not really looking for somebody else. They're looking for what they have. We're looking for a lot more. We got to take a quick break because we have to pay for things around here. But we will be back right after this. And we are back, and I have Arielle Leavitt here, host of Elevate Love. She's a redhead. As we say around here many, many times, we notice the blonde, but we remember the redhead. Do you get questions about that?
About my red hair?
Yeah. Or do you get judgment about it? Do people expect a certain personality that comes with the redhead?
I think there are expectations that come with a redhead. Yeah. They expect you to be wild and crazy.
Yeah. Or slightly angry?
No.
Is there a temper?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I mean.
Last one to know. I didn't think I was a temper.
I mean, I keep getting you must be really wild and crazy. Like,
do they lead with that?
Sometimes.
Don't lead with
that. Please don't ever.
Don't lead with that.
That's
Are
a big
you as crazy as I imagine you to be? Yeah, don't lead with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you do something kind of little out of character, ooh, you're a redhead. Oh man,
Have you had any gay couples on your show yet?
I have.
Is there a difference? Because I've brought this up. We've done many gay live shows. The things that bother a couple of gay men in a relationship are not the same things. They're not nearly as bothered by other people and jealousy as all that as straight couples are.
It's different. But again, that couple that I brought on also, they have that trust, right? So they're not that jealousy thing that doesn't exist in their relationship. But they had I think same as every other couple, one doesn't put the salt shaker back exactly where they want it. So they get a little
bastard.
They get a little tiffed about that or whatever.
Tiffed. Is there an adjective in couples? Is there a through line that you find in most good couples? Is trust the word? Is honesty? Like, what is the lead word in couples that are seen to be working things out?
This is my best friend.
This is my best friend.
Yeah. That's what I keep hearing over and over again, that this is my best friend. And
I hear that too. It's not that I don't agree with you. People say that too. They say, I want to date my best friend. I think you want your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife to turn into your best friend. I don't think you want to start with them as your best friend.
I think that's a very good point you just brought up. And I think it depends also on who you are. Because for me, if you want to call it Aquarius, like, I am an Aquarius, but if you want to call it like...
Is there you're a water sign.
Yeah. But if you like...
Is that February?
January.
Okay.
January, February, whatever. Yeah. Right.
That's close.
It's close. I'll give it to you. For me, I want to believe in love at first sight, and I want to believe in all that stuff. And here I have a podcast about love at first sight, right? But for me, I don't think I could do love at first sight. I could do lust at first sight. I could do that type of stuff at first sight. But love at first sight, I need to get to know that person. I need to trust them. I need to become friends with them. I need to buddy with them before I can.
Before.
Yeah.
I think lust has a better chance of turning into love than friendship.
I don't trust the person. That's my problem. Like, I can have a good time with somebody with lust and all that other fun stuff.
Right.
But I need to you need to stimulate my brain a little bit. You need to
Yeah, but that's not necessarily your best friend's job either. Your best friend's job, I don't know if your best friend is brain stimulation. Your best friend is about sort of sharing and laughter and all that kind of...
feeling comfortable with that person, right?
Feeling comfortable with that person, but it's a different kind of comfort, you know? I don't know if you're cuddling with your best friend.
Well, you also want that sexual attraction.
That's
right?
not even sexual, though. That's more about intimacy. There's an intimacy level with somebody you are dating or in a relationship with that is different from best friend. I think the best friend thing comes second. I think the walls come down and then the friendship happens versus the friendship happens and then the walls come down. I could be wrong on this. I highly doubt that I'm wrong on this, but I think that's it. I think if you lead with best friends, you're taking a lot of the spark out of it because you're almost too comfortable. And relationships should be built on nervous energy and excitement and anticipation. And a lot of those things that best friend is almost too routine. Those older couples that you talked about, they're in that best friend zone. I'm not entirely sure that's the place to be. I think you eventually, as your relationship grows, the friendship gets closer. I don't think it's as the friendship grows, the relationship gets closer.
Yes, I agree. You have to knock down those walls with that. Yeah, and then build that friendship.
You have a lot more boyfriends and girlfriends in your life than you do best friends.
Yes.
It's harder to get to best friend. So starting with best friend is...
Yeah, you can't really start with best friends because you
right.
got to get.
You might have 3 best friends in your life at different phases. Mm-hmm. Some people have their best friends since they were 4 years old, and that's my best friend. I have 100 boyfriends and girlfriends. You know.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think the core and the fundamental tenets of friendship bode well, you know, for a partnership. Partnership is probably better than friendship in terms of the approach to it.
Yeah.
This is and I always make that joke at our show. People are like, I'm looking for a partner. I'm like, form an LLC. Like, that's not romantic enough, but that's just a joke. I do believe that our mission here, our project here, our business here is this relationship. Mm-hmm. And rather than looking at it, like a lot of people look at the relationship the way they would look at a child and they nurture and grow it, that's not quite right. You need to look at it to an endeavor, a mission, and we are going to go through the ups and downs and face the challenges and devote the resources to it to make it survive and thrive and go to where we want it to go. Maybe that's a little too analytical and that's hard to go into it because you're just basically like, I just want to see somebody who's cute and they make me laugh and then you go from there. But I think that the outlook of it, if you pull it back to 5,000 feet and how do we look at me and you and us and where we're going, I think that people have to look at it like you do this and I do this and we bring this and together this thing that we have together in this petri dish is growing and it's getting stronger and healthier. And that's, I think if you pulled down the layers on a lot of happy couples, I think that's what's in there. And friendship is one of the ingredients in that dish.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I also think allowing each person to be who they are, because when you start coming in and trying to like change that person, or not even change them, but like not really allow them to be the person you are, that you fell in love with, right?
I agree, but I think who we are is somehow shaped by the fact is that's who we were without you. And there's a chance that with you, we would change or feel better about ourselves or pivot or grow or do something because they finally felt comfortable enough to be a new version of themselves. Mm-hmm. And a lot of men get to the point, and a lot of women will put this on them too, like, you know, when you're dating a guy who's 46, who he is, and he doesn't want to change him, and he's gonna wear his Ben Roethlisberger jersey on dates, and that's who he is. I don't know about that. I think if you can create an environment where his confidence can be refreshed, or he can get a new perspective on things, then you really are finding who they really are, not who they were.
And accepting them.
And accepting them. Yeah. But I'm not sure that we're not, I don't know about trainable. I think we are trainable, but I think malleable to new situations. You know, a lot of people are like, I don't want to take cruises. And then suddenly you meet somebody who's the greatest person in the world to take a cruise on, and then you love cruises, or I don't like to hike, or I don't like seafood or anything. And then somebody's opening up new horizons. And I think that happy couples are willing to take adventures together. If you're one person, you're like, I like to scuba dive, and the other person doesn't, and the other person just simply doesn't want to, they're not required to get their gear out and dive in the ocean with you. They're not. But if there's the sense of adventure that you get out of that, you find a way to channel that or divert that into something that the other person likes, then you're sharing the stimuli as much as the activity. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You seem so. You're like, no, he needs to scuba dive, and that's it.
No, I think I agree with you. I'm listening to what you're saying, and I
think, and so when you peel back the layers of these relationships and how they feel about each other, there's a handful of fundamental ingredients that usually they stimulate each other, they're attracted to each other, they trust each other, mm-hmm. They feel like this is the person meant to be with me in this moment or in this situation or in this lifetime. I think that all matters.
Yeah, and I think that's why somebody feels comfortable growing as who they are, but within the couple, within the relationship too, right? Because you're in a safe zone. It's
got to be an awful feeling to feel like you're in a wrong life, like you're in a marriage situation that is not the one you should be in. Yeah. And a lot of people stay in that because they can't see the one they should be in.
Or they're scared to face what else could be, right? It's easier to
door number 2, right. The devil you know.
Yeah. That's the expression I was looking for.
Yeah, it is. A lot of people, you look at it like game musical chairs. A lot of people would rather have a bad seat than no seat.
Yeah.
It's a scary situation to just kind of leave. But these people that hopefully you're talking to and you're elevating love have come to that fork in the road, or they've stared at that and they're like, this is where I should be. This is who I should be with. And we're going to do everything we can to take this relationship where we want to go, mm-hmm. and grow with it and face life together. Like that is what you're looking to do. This is the person I'm supposed to be with.
I also don't think relationships should be work. I feel like everything else should be work. Challenges you face through together as a couple, that could be work, but the relationship itself mm-hmm. should not be work.
Depends on how. No, I hear that a lot, and I agree with that. Sometimes work might be the wrong word, because a relationship should require effort, and it should require caring, and it should encounter some difficulty, and these are all ingredients of work, I think. But you should work at something you love, hopefully. I think the work connotation should be like, this is a struggle. I think struggle is the or challenges. I think that is, if it feels like work, if it feels like something